Palestinians have an absolute right to resist the occupation by any means necessary and to achieve their liberation. Samidoun, as an organization, aims to publicize, promote, organize actions, demonstrations, direct actions, educational work, political work, in order to publicize and promote the role of the Palestinian political prisoners and work to achieve their liberation. We recognize that it's the Palestinian resistance that is on the front lines that by and large has achieved the liberation of Palestinian political prisoners through the one mechanism that has been made clear over the decades, over and over and over again, that is the one reliable mechanism for the liberation of Palestinian political prisoners, that is achieving a prisoner exchange through the capture of occupation soldiers and settlers and exchanging them for Palestinian political prisoners. The 7th of October 2023, or Al-Aqsa Flood, it presented a reality in which it was now possible to envision, like quite practically, the military defeat of the Zionist regime by the Palestinian resistance. Samidoun is being designated what's called a so-called terrorist entity in Canada. Now, it should be noted here that there's absolutely no allegation on the part of either of these states that we have engaged in the armed struggle for the liberation of Palestine, that we have participated in any activity other than public political activity, organizing demonstrations, protests, and actions. And of course, one of the purposes of using these kinds of designations is to create fear, so that like people won't speak to someone who is in Samidoun, or people will be afraid of carrying a slogan or a sign that says victory to the resistance, or of honoring the memory of Yahya Sinwar or Syed Hassan Nasrallah or Ismail Haniyeh or Saleh Al-Arouri or any of the martyrs of Palestine as heroes and symbols of an international movement for justice and liberation. Not only do we need to call for an end to the designation of Samidoun, we also need to fight to end the designation of Hamas, of Islamic Jihad, of Hezbollah, of the PFLP.
I'm wondering whether Russia, being the successor of the Soviet Union, one of the nations that signed in 1948 for the creation of the entity, whether they should be doing more. Is what they're doing enough, in your opinion? Russia, China, powerful countries.
There are meaningful military alliances. There's also meaningful development of alternative mechanisms of trade and payment. There's also alternative mechanisms of trade and payment that are used that help to sustain countries and movements that are targeted by sanctions. If there were air defenses, if the Palestinian people had air defenses, and even if the Lebanese resistance had more effective air defenses, this situation would be over, and it would have been over a long time ago. So Russia and China can and should do more at the same time that they are friendly forces to the Palestinian people.